You ever feel like life is just dragging along? Like no matter how hard you try, things just won't move any faster? I've definitely felt that. But maybe there's something to learn from our friend here. He's called a banana slug. And like many of his other friends in the Pacific Northwest, he seems to just handle time a little differently. Take the Sitka spruce. These guys can live to be 1,000 years old. Talk about not feeling rushed. If you really think about it, rushing all the time isn't the most sustainable way to live. We miss the best parts of life in our hurry to get to somewhere else. We end up missing the joy found in journeying when we are in a hurry all the time. And where's the fun in that? To change things up a bit, we met some friends from the Transformational Travel Council who have created a framework for traveling a little differently. The idea is that travel has superpowers that can be unlocked if you follow some basic steps. And when unlocked, travel becomes truly transformative and can create a positive impact in your life and the lives of others. One of the key ingredients is taking time, like the Sitka spruce. So we got Jake and Michael's thoughts on how to make the most of our trip while traveling transformatively.
There's no right or wrong way to do it. So whatever lands with you, right?
Yeah.
Is really, really important. So don't stress out about are you doing it right or not.
Yeah.
It doesn't need to be complex, right? It doesn't need to be this heavy, deep work, grind. And it will be at times, depending on where you're at. But I think there's certain core elements of this, right? Be intentional with this, with what you're doing, right? Take time to prepare. This is kind of going back to that path, right? Mm-hmm. Engage differently, reflect, right? And take action when you get home. I think people get stressed out and worried about, am I doing it right? One, and two, is this going to just change the entire world when I get back? And it doesn't need to. It needs to change your life in a positive way.
After the info, we hopped in the Jag and started our road trip around the Olympia Peninsula. First stop, the city of makers, Everett, Washington.
Dimarco Berea. Again. We made it to Everett. Scott Hansen. I concur.
Upon arriving, we explored the waterfront of Everett, Washington, walking along the port searching for a way to traverse the water onto Jetty Island while the ominous clouds crept into sight. The wind made sure to remind us that history played a role here, from George Washington to the Scandinavian and Croatian fishermen that founded the modern city. But how far did the historical rabbit hole really go? To find out, we visited a sustainable distillery to learn how one of Everett's makers was alchemizing the past into the present with cocktails and tapas.
To draw a very crude, broad swipe through history, pretty much everything we enjoy in the spirits world is due to Christian monks. And before them, they actually, like the stills we use, these alembic stills, came from the Persian alchemists. And this goes back 8 centuries.
This is so good.
Is that nice? Yeah.
Woo! Woo! Okay, so I'm alive now. Totally. That's why they call this thing water of life. You just take a shot and boom, let's go. Let's do this, people.
To me, the akvavit is like dinner with friends, Christmas dinner, whatever. It's a shot right before the meal.
Yeah.
It's a good toast, good eye contact, and
blackened wild Pacific cod tacos and rustic mac and cheese played co-stars to the evening's experience. We followed the stars back to the Hotel Indigo, where we found a comfortable lobby waiting to embrace us. We welcomed the Sandman as we knew the next day would put our creative energies to the test.
Welcome to my living room. Welcome to my crib.
Welcome to my crib. Marco keeps plugging it in Apple Maps on the nav, and it's killing me. I know there's viewers watching that have that same feeling. Apple Maps, no fucking chance. It's Google Maps all day. Apple's such garbage map design.
Scott.
It does not get me to the right spot.
So you're an Apple guy.
I'm an Apple phone, but I can't stand their Maps app.
So you're a Google guy.
I'm not a fan of their phone, but I like their maps.
You are a guy that doesn't like to be defined by anything else.
I want it both ways. I want my cake. I want to eat it. I want the whole f***ing shebang.
And you want to forward it out for everyone to see.
I don't think anybody wants to see that.
Being lost tends to make for some comical scenarios.
Dude, this isn't 2.4 miles away. It's actually very close. You just take the walking bridge right here. The hotel's right there.
It says 0.9 miles away,
Yeah,
bro.
because you have to drive up around the train track to where we're going. But if we were to walk it, it's literally right there.
So you want to tell Garrett that we're gonna walk up that entire thing with him holding a 50-pound camera?
Garrett, we're gonna walk up that entire thing holding a 50-pound camera.
Cool. You f***ing liar. You know what, bro?
If Willy Wonka had a toy store, Funko would surely be it. Contemporary pop culture statues like Iron Man, Batman, and the Joker greet you into this strange universe of fiction, nostalgia, and fantasy. This museum of magic, where anything is possible, holds a power to hypnotize its adult visitors while allowing their inner child to come out and play.
Dude,
Yeah.
I'm already excited. We're at this place called Funko. I didn't know about these things, so apparently these are like a pop culture phenomenon.
They sure are. They're the funk.
And while hundreds of fans waited outside the store to get one of their limited edition figurines, we were inside popping ourselves.
You brought me here.
I sure did.
So what am I supposed to be doing?
Oh, you're building yourself your own
I'm
character.
like making my own.
Yes, the probabilities are endless here at Funko.
We're making a mini Scott Hansen.
You're gonna pop yourself.
Scott Hansen and Dimarco Barrea. I like how you went for the whitest one.
I was gonna give that to you.
Oh, that looks quite a bit like you.
That's my next look.
All right, we gotta show off the camera. So far, here's how far we've made it. Where you at? Let me see.
What up, bro?
These do kind of have Scott and DeMarco vibe.
With our characters half done, it was time to put the finishing touches before the grand reveal at the Funko shop.
Look at this sexy guy.
Dude, these are actually starting to look like us in a lot of ways.
I like myself. Like Madonna, Prince, DeMarco.
Scott Hansen, DeMarco. Look at that. How cool is that? I just made myself as a doll, a Funko doll. That's dope as hell. That is Scott Hansen right there in a box. Yourself, take a good note, and when you come here, you can build me in a box. Why didn't we both have Scott Hansen? You should have built Scott Hansen as well.
As we walked out of the store with our custom Funko dolls, we finally understood why Everett is called the City of Makers. The reflection of the clouds tends to make for some spectacular viewing on the waterfront, and whether you're traveling by boat, car, or perhaps plane, Everett is home to an incredible history of people with a diverse modern community.
Just hopped out of the pool over at Old Indigo, and now we're gonna go play some pool over at the Golden Fleece.
Are you any good at pool? Here's the thing, I asked DeMarco all the time.
Quite often.
If he's any good at all the activities that we do, and he always has this very bravado, am I any good? And then inevitably I win.
I think the viewers are detecting the very obvious compassionate pattern here of me allowing you to win.
But here's the thing, I'm not good at pool. I'm just, there's no bravado behind it.
I'm gonna have to be extremely compassionate.
With laughter in our belly, we visited Golden Fleece Billiards. This place was designed for good times and cheap thrills, even having time to sneak in an homage to myth while pool players enjoyed homemade Georgian food.
Here's the layout, here's the plan. Ready? Jump in the car, drive up to Everett, Washington, show up to Golden Fleece Billiards, order some Republic of Georgian food, and a couple of local brews with your bros, and have a good time.
And now I'm gonna whoop your ass
Different kind of experience. Pool hall was like.
strangely at home stepping into the New Mexicans. The Hispanic culture I was raised with adorned the walls, reminded me of my heritage, and it was served deliciously on our table. Huevos a la mexicana with an Everett twist.
Spicy. This is really spicy. Yeah, I might need some more water. I'm gonna dig in.
Dig in.
All right.
And I don't know what to do with this brick of a cornbread, but eat it. Yep. Cheers.
Cheers.
We then arrived to the Evergreen Arboretum, considered to be one of the county's hidden treasures. Eileen walked us through the 11 themed gardens that displays the majestic natural heritage of the Pacific Northwest and beyond.
Captain George Vancouver landed here in 1792, but before he discovered it, it was home to more than 50 different tribes of coastal Salish people.
Bridging the gap between the present and the past, we walked through Spencer Park Island, one of the best places in the Snohomish River estuary to view waterfowl and shorebirds. Deer, coyote, river otter, and a host of small mammals and amphibians also inhabit the large island. We could have walked for hours, enjoying its incredible biodiversity. Everett reluctantly, but the beauty of the sound, the stoic trees, and the open road beckoned. We heard the sky whisper Whidbey Island to us, and we arrived to experience one of the most beautiful sunsets right before jumping onto the ferry.
Alright, we're getting on the ferry, bro.
Yeah, man. Made it to the ferry.
Whidbey Island. We get to drive our cars on boats. That's how I like to roll. I'm gonna drive my car on a boat. Fucking gangster. I'm about to take a Jag. A Jag.
It's a Jag.
On a boat.
I didn't even know that cats liked water.
Dude, this is fucking
Here,
cool.
I'm actually gonna take a little video of us getting on the boat right quick so the viewers can see that. It's very green.
It is very green.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, going up.
Can we get out of the car?
Yeah,
Let's get out of the car.
all right, Dimarco's gonna get out of the car.
Okay, I'm getting out of the car.
All right, bye.
As I walked through the Mukilteo ferry heading to Clinton, the stunning views of both the Possession and Puget Sound hypnotized me. I was curious about what wonders awaited me on Whidbey Island.
Scott,
Yo,
you would have loved the pictures in there. This is a short ferry ride.
I know.
Dude,
That's why I wasn't worried about it.
I could have totally waited to pee.
How cool though, we're living in an age where you can pee on a boat.
You can do more than pee in there. There's a bunch
There's
of
a
things.
lot of activities you can do in there.
Yeah, you could see the artwork.
Oh,
They
I
have-
thought you meant in the bathroom, but okay, yeah.
Oh, well, I mean,
That's what I was thinking.
get your mind out of the gutter, you freaks.
The only way to get to Whidbey Island is through the Deception Pass Bridge, or one of the two ferries located on opposite sides of the island. We drove on the scenic aisleway, experiencing the unique communities of Oak Harbor, Langley, Coopville, and Clinton. This leg of the iconic Cascade Loop first led us to Eby's Landing, a hiker's paradise along the Puget Sound that preserves traditions of Native and Euro-Americans alike. We walked up the fairy tale-like steps to the prairie overlook, where the vast natural beauty was accompanied by a roaring wind that seemed to say, "You have truly arrived." After a few minutes' drive, we checked into historical Fort Casey Inn. This nostalgic getaway was originally built for U.S. Army officers before World War I. Today, its charming cottages are a short walk from beaches, trails, and a bird sanctuary. Entering one of these cottages in Coopville felt like traveling back in time when things were simpler and more wholesome. This relaxing sojourn held a few secrets like stones locals hide for one another in the trees. We met Robin, who gave us a personal tour of paradise and the old-growth forest behind the property. The nearby lighthouse has ample parade grounds and a few friends that are happy to greet you. Scott meditated by the stupa while the prayer flags danced in the air at the Earth Sanctuary, a sacred space with a vision to restore nature. And as we walked through the space, a deep sense of peace and renewal reminded us of our purpose on the journey. After a morning absorbed by the majestic old-growth forests and sanctuaries, we drove up to the Organic Farm School, a place that trains new students to develop and manage small farms focused on ecological and social regeneration.
It must be pretty cool, like the fact that all the water is kind of like surrounding.
Yeah, it can be cool, it can be difficult, it can be stressful.
As I walked along with Peyton getting the big picture view of the farm, he introduced me to a couple of their current students.
I'd say learning that it's not that we're necessarily growing vegetables, but creating the conditions that will make these vegetables thrive.
This is our indoor growing space that we get to do a little bit of intensive farming for high value crops like tomatoes, cucumbers, peppers, things that traditionally might not grow well up here in the Pacific Northwest.
Ah, okay. So this is like an intensive care unit.
It is, and we're almost trying to trick these plants to think that they're 50 miles south of here, to think that their daily life is 10 degrees hotter than everything outside. Wonderful kale leaf, huge kale leaf.
Jesus Christ.
Can I?
Yeah, of course, and it's delicious raw. Delicious.
I love this. Can we put some of this on the pizza later?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Arugula, kale, spinach, whatever you want.
Peyton, you told me earlier about that this was all originally like a sand bed, and I'm looking around and I'm seeing nothing but green. How did that happen?
So if we can put living material back into our soil, for example, some of these roots of these radishes, when we take them out,
Oh wow.
at the end of this, they still have some root structure in here.
Okay.
And over time can just add fertility to a very sandy area. And that reason why we're so sandy, we are at a valley bottom. That is where all the water settles before it starts to move out. And with a lot of water and a lot of sand, all your nutrients, all of your structure is gonna leave as quick as it can.
So this farm is a miracle because realistically, it's not supposed to be here.
This is not farming ground tradition. No one would see this ground and survey it and say vegetables.
Well, can I pull a radish out?
Eat it if you want.
I will. Then I'm gonna pull this bad boy out right here.
Yeah, that one. Look at those roots.
Look at that boy right there. Just gonna. That's a good radish.
It's a watery radish.
Oh yeah, it's juicy.
That's for sure.
Well, cheers.
So I took a handful of the freshly grown kale and radish back through the fields to meet at the farmhouse and bake some local sustainable pizza. Every Friday, the community gathers here to share in the food that was grown on the farm. We even got to sip on some of the local spoiled dog wine and driftwood cider native to the region.
Everything on this pizza was grown and made right here on this island. Completely sustainable and utterly delicious.
So how do you follow up sustainable pizza? How about some sustainable beer? We poured into Penn Cove, a brewery with a deep connection to community.
Making this beer that's a little unique to this area.
Yeah, so we try to focus a lot on doing like local collaborations, source as much locally as we can. So, for example, most of our grain comes from Skagit Valley, just up the road here. We're actually working with farmers up in Cootville to grow barley for us, which will have malted just up the road and then produced back here again. Our hops, we're actually going to be planting some hops out here so we can do locally sourced hops, and we source hops from the community as well. So ideally, I have this vision of making an entire beer that is sourced from right here. Like, 5 miles.
All about the community.
And keeping it close to home.
Right? Keeping it small and sustainable.
And it pays back. And like,
Cheers. Mark, welcome to the party. Like a million cheers.
Community has been a tradition here long before settlers showed up. Mukilteo is a Lushoot seed word meaning good camping ground. The Snohomish people had a year-round campground in the area for at least 600 years before George Vancouver dropped in on his expedition, and the name stuck.
You gotta get a Dimarco hug. Dimarco's a hugger.
Gary and Beth Smith are founders of this Whidbey Island staple, and you can feel their connection to the community in every touch.
That's the lox and bagel.
That's my homage to my Northeast roots from my Cuban family that went Northeast.
Ooh, look at that.
The locals know what's up here. Everyone was trying to get in on the action.
There we go. There we go.
So Beth gave me the rundown on what makes their burgers so special.
I think what makes it special is the salt water is on the grass, and so it's supposed to like tenderize the meat. And we've always just had so many compliments about our burgers, and that's the reason we love Three Sisters.
Three Sisters Burger right here at Mukilteo Coffee and Roasters.
It would be a good time here on the island.
See? Where are you from?
Kansas City.
Dude, this is. We were talking about Elysium. I feel like I'm in it.
Yeah. I mean, if you're gonna have like a very like Jersey, New York thing with lox on bagel, you know, at least get the lox fresh, right on the Pacific Northwest coast. That's what you do, people. Check this out.
Oh, dude. Totally good brat food. Are you about to bite that upside down?
Yep.
Is it better upside down or is it...
I just like to attack it from different angles so I can have the experience in more ways than one.
So should I be eating my burger this way?
Yeah.
I've never actually done this.
Change your perspective on life, bro. Do it upside down.
You know what's interesting? I'm not going to switch the way I do things, but the best part is right here on the bun. And you got the cheese and the onion. So why do we eat sandwiches this way and not...
Transformational travel, bro.
Well, okay, I guess I'm gonna eat this burger this way from here on out. See you on the other side.
While eating, we met a local couple who took us down a path right behind the coffee shop to show us just another magical part of Whidbey Island. Their 1946 prop plane that they rode in on just to have lunch.
So you just flew here and parked here?
Yeah.
And you're just gonna hop in and just leave?
Yep.
Wow.
That's something different to do.
So of course, Dimarco had to get in.
Yeah, let's get in this thing.
Yeah, that's good.
It's easy enough for me to open it.
Cool. He just climbs in, makes himself at home.
Yeah, all right, guys.
Welcome to the Dimarco show.
Yeah. So, the most important thing about flying a plane is you gotta put on some good jams. So he's got a great little stereo system in here. Can I do it?
Hold it softly towards you, and it will go up. Now look back, and what you've done is you've made the elevator go up. Push it the other way, makes it go down.
And then I go like this, and I go left. Yep. And I go like this, and...
Getting out, well, like butter.
Yeah.
I do yoga.
The lifestyle here is so foreign and incredible to what I'm used to. Island hopping on planes, and next up, boats. This is Captain Brett of Deception Pass Tours and his custom-made jet boat. Deception Pass is a strait that separates Whidbey Island from Fidalgo Island and mainland Washington. As with most of the places on our trip, coastal Salish people called this place home before Joseph Whidbey, a member of the Vancouver expedition, found and mapped the pass in 1792. These days you can jam out on a boat and still see a large number of wildlife. So we kicked back and soaked it all in.
We're in the middle of Rosario Strait on a boat with some friends. And it's cool.
This is the kind of Tuesday afternoon that makes you question, have I ever really had a Tuesday afternoon?
Oh shit, I love that. Yeah, have I ever had a real Tuesday afternoon? Not like this I haven't. Oh my god.
One animal we didn't see on the tour that calls this region home was the orca whale. So we stopped by the Langley Whale Center to meet with Howard Garrett, the co-founder of Orca Network, and learn more.
The thing about whales is it sort of brings out the best in people somehow. They want to share, they want to kind of be creative, they get excited. I mean, it's an upper, you know, it's a mood lifter.
There's something so foreign about them, but so romantic, and like you said, she made the whale look like a ballet dancer. There's something whimsical almost or delicate about these beautiful large animals that are, I'm learning, possibly just as intelligent as us, at the very least have familial bonds that are very, very similar to humans.
We're just beginning to see some of the, the insights, the mysteries of how the whales really operate day by day, constantly. It's invisible to us.
Howard has dedicated his life to raising awareness of the whales in the Pacific Northwest. At the Whale Center, he showed us how we've barely scratched the surface on what there is to learn about these amazing creatures.
So I'm in a whale center. What the hell is a whale center?
Yes. Well, we have kind of carved out a niche here that wasn't here because who knew what whales were just a few years ago? I mean, 10, 20 years ago, people, had this sort of grandiose idea. They're really big animals. But it's much more interesting than that, much more complex when you get into the sort of the inner workings and the actual lives lived of the whales. And you have to consider also their brain power.
Yeah.
Their neuroanatomy, their brains are actually, by recent research, the largest on Earth. It's been believed that the sperm whales had the largest brains on Earth.
Yeah, because they're huge. So where's the...
About 19 pounds compared to human brains, about 3.5. What they do is they form into these communities that are average about 250, 300 members. And that is sort of the limit. That's the size of their community, of their sort of, face-to-face, tight association, bonding. I mean, they're not constantly 24/7 every day together because they're in pods, and each pod will have its own, roaming around, but they meet up. And when they do, they share what has to be called a language.
Wow.
It's a system of calls, a whole vocabulary.
So you're almost the bridge or interconnecting point between humans and whales right now. The community of humans and community of whales, you're that bridge. That's so cool, Howard. That's freaking amazing.
That is our mission statement, actually. You just said it.
Yeah. Well, there we go. You're living it then, that I'm able to intuit your mission statement.
Yeah.
That's really cool. Thank you,
Connecting
Sarah.
people in Wales and the Salish, or the Pacific Northwest. So
that's amazing.
Yeah.
There is so much to say about a place like Whidbey Island. It's still hard to wrap my head around how big this tiny island feels, and we aren't done yet. We got a text with a picture of a massive salmon a local restaurateur had just brought in for the evening's meal, and we had to check it out. The man, Chef Scott Frazier. His restaurant, Frazier's Gourmet Hideaway, and what a hidden gem of a place. We were greeted by the aforementioned salmon in a myriad of ways it had been prepared.
Hello, Sarah. Well, hello, you. Put that down. Wow, look at that. You get a work of art. I get a work of art. We all get works of art. Scott, ready? Yeah. Yeah, born ready. This is how you duck, Scott. I just want to let you know, because you've been asking me a lot. Dimarco, I've asked you this question, like, how do you duck? and this is how you duck.
You can just get in on this duck and see.
And and for dessert, I might have like a duck pie. It's getting in there.
Chef Scott poured on the sauce while we plunged into the food.
Melts.
Speaking of melts, check out these desserts.
Can you see it?
As we closed out the evening, Dimarco shared his philosophy on drinking coffee at 8 p.m.
Here's the thing, Scott, I'm gonna simplify this. I am Cuban. Coffee is not something that we do to wake up.
We drove west on the 101 heading to Forks, Washington. We saw the edges of Olympic National Park along the side of the road as we approached its varied and complex life zones.
It's basically got it all, is what, like this place kind of has a little bit of everything. You've got a rainforest, you've got canyons, you've got mountains, you've got coast, you've got
It's basically the Walmart of nature. It has everything you need.
Nestled in the foothills of the Olympic Mountains, Lake Crescent's pristine glacial waters are the ideal destination for those in search of natural beauty.
Clear this water is. It's wow. You can see. Sorry, babies. I didn't mean to disturb you.
They're just hanging out.
Yeah.
Olympic National Park was designated a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1981. It is renowned for the diversity of its ecosystems, featuring a spectacular coastline, scenic lakes, magnificent virgin temperate rainforests with majestic mountains and glaciers. As a result, the park is rich in biological diversity and has a high rate of endemism.
Most people collect Pokemon cards. We collect UNESCO World Heritage Sites.
We were surrounded by a lush green canopy of both coniferous and deciduous species of trees. Mosses and ferns blanketed the branches, adding another dimension to the enchantment of the rainforest. These silent giants of red cedar, Douglas fir, and Sitka spruce provided loving shade to us as we walked through the overgrown forest floor. The Spruce Nature Trail revealed both new and old growth forest that led us deeper into the past and connected us more to Gaia. And as we cut through the dreamlike passages, we stumbled upon the river and took up the nostalgic practice of skipping stones, just like we did when we were children. Melodies of Moby's Porcelain played in my mind as we approached and explored a hidden beach just 30 minutes south of the Hoh Rainforest. We descended the steps, not knowing what magic would await us.
Ridge.
Dude, let's go. This is super epic.
We go through.
The combination of pebbles and drift logs lined the sand in front of us. Our reflections grew large on the Cadillac area beach. We took in the salty ocean air carried to us by the strong surf. After jumping back in the Jaguar, we drove to a nearby destination set to hold the biggest spruce tree in the world.
Well, let's go see what happens. This is like stepping into a whole other world.
We're in a whole different rainforest. Like Hoh Rainforest is a rainforest in Olympic National Park. This is
So the Olympic National Park has multiple rainforests?
Tres.
3 of them. And we did 2 of them so far. That's not bad. Wow, Scott. I really thought that the spruce tree was going to be a lot bigger than this.
Yeah, that's world record right there. I don't even think that's a spruce tree, my friend.
Oh, this isn't it?
No.
Okay, let's continue going.
That's a big ass boy.
Jesus. Dang. You could fit 10 Dimarcos around that.
As our eyes focused upwards to marvel at its height, there it stood, almost as if it had been waiting there for us for centuries.
This is the world's largest spruce tree, and it's over 1,000 years old. And of course, Scott's up there touching it. Oh, my back!
On our drive 2 hours later, I noticed there was ample space in my pant pockets where my wallet once lived.
All right, so we're having an important moment in transformational travel right now. We have not been able to find Dimarco's wallet, which not only has his ID, but the credit card that we're booking everything on the trip with.
I mean, what is a wallet anyways? Why, more importantly,
why is a wallet? Cool. Report back when we find it. Okay, we've been retracing our steps everywhere.
We love the Hoh so much, we're going back to it.
Yeah, we love it so much we're heading hour and a half back towards
the Hoh
way we
always
came.
calls you back.
I remember where I lost my wallet. You remember when we were in the beach and we were like having those beautiful reflections on the sand? I actually took my wallet and put it down on the beach.
I figured.
So this gives us a great opportunity to get my wallet and jump in the cold ass Pacific Ocean.
Do a little cold plunge?
Yes.
But I'm actually kind of excited for it.
Yes.
It feels really transformational to me.
Yes. We're gonna transform from warm-blooded creatures to ice age frozen cubes. Talk about a new definition for blue balls.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Okay, man, let's go find that wallet on the beach.
All right, let's go.
After hours of driving, only two things were certain. It was cold, and Dimarco would ham it up.
Fashionista. Let's go find this wallet.
So guys, we're taking advantage of losing my wallet to go freeze our nuts off in the ocean.
Transformational travel is about rolling with the waves as they come. If at first you don't find the wallet, do the logical thing and take off running towards the water.
Dude, Dimarco. Come here. Come here. Oh! Oh! Dude, we found it. I fucking found it. Okay. Dude. All right, now. Whoa! Let's go get cold in the ocean. Okay. We're taking the wallet as an excuse to go jump in the freaking Pacific.
Now give me your wallet.
Cold. Does that have your in it? Does it have our credit cards and stuff?
Yes.
So this time what I'd like to do is give the wallet to Garrett while we get into the ocean. So you don't fucking lose it again. I'm gonna do some Wim Hof breathing because it's gonna be cold as fuck in there. And dude, we'll do a little warm up and then we're gonna just jump in, man.
He's gonna breathe, then it's gonna make him so much warmer.
It's not gonna make me warmer, it's gonna make it suck less in the cold.
Hey, I saw this dude do it and go run in the Arctic. Anything was worth a try for the sake of the family jewels. Oh yeah, look how manly.
Transformation!
Dude. Woo! That feels great!
While on the West Coast, I highly recommend hanging around for sunset. Ruby Beach, one of the crown jewels of the Olympic National Park. Monolithic stones guard the beach like unmovable sentinels, watching the eons of time wash by. The beach is only 14 miles from the entrance to the Hoh Rainforest. This still blows my mind considering how vast the disparity is between the ecosystems. For us, it was a stunning gem that highlighted why this area is protected, hopefully for all of time. It felt like a place to pause and enjoy how far we've come, so we marked the occasion with a bottle of wine we smuggled off of Whidbey Island.
Let's do some bro shit. Alright. Let's have it.
Alright, boys. Time to take a swig here. May all our dreams come true.
Brotherhood.
Here's to my brothers. I love you.
Alright, last but not least, both of you, my brothers.
Cheers.
Brotherhood. What to say on this topic? It's a bond thicker than blood. That might sound cliche to those who haven't truly experienced it, but if you know, you know. I think the idea of brotherhood is something more universal, something that transcends gender or societal containers. I think of how the Native Americans treat the land and animals as brothers and sisters, or how Vin Diesel doesn't have friends, he has family. To me, brotherhood is a daily choice to accept another human being exactly as they are with love and respect. It's a gift that I hope every person has the chance to experience in their short time on this beautiful floating rock through space. As the sun set, we moseyed on down the 101 to our last stop, Olympia. It was another 10 out of 10 drive to complete our loop of the peninsula. When we arrived, we set up camp at Hotel RL. They brand themselves as a gathering place for curious travelers. How fitting for joy of the journey.
So there was this guy called Leopold that came here a long time ago. He was German, and he found something special in the water. And with that water, he was able to develop a unique recipe for Olympia specific beer.
Really?
Yes. Yep. And so tonight, one night only, Scott Hansen and Dimarco Barea are going to go to the place that still has that original recipe, and we are going to try that out.
I'm in.
It's called Sustainable Artisanal Brewing.
We just ordered some beers here at Well 80. Apparently there's, like we were saying on the road, there's something about the water here that makes this beer different than anywhere else you can get.
I mean, they're always saying like, it's the water. And I think that makes a lot of sense, you know, talking about sustainability and just like, you know, thinking of nature, connecting to land, connecting to water. How much better is it when you have like this artisan well water?
All right, well, let's cheers to both beers. And
cheers to beers.
L'chaim. Hey, L'chaim.
The beers went down a little too easy, so we met the owner Chris for another one, and to learn a little bit about It's the Water.
So dude, so like I've been hearing this phrase, it's the water. Like, and you know, our thing is like really like learning about the land, the water, and how the connection to sustainability kind of makes things better, I think, right? Yeah. So I'd love to learn more about like what this it's the water phrase is about.
So it's the water was the slogan that the Olympia Brewing Company used for decades.
Okay.
I think they put that into implementation in the 2010s or something like that.
Okay.
And over time, it's sort of become a community asset. People think it's the water, they associate it with Olympia beer. The community associates that phrase with the community. The Olympia Brewing Company's long gone. It hasn't been here since 2003.
Word.
The brand's still been made by taps, but the actual physical brewery is not here. But the nostalgia lives on, the story lives on, the lore lives on.
Cheers. Cheers to you, brother.
Yeah, thanks for coming by.
Yeah.
From beer to oysters, God, we do a place right. Chelsea Farms Oyster Bar is sustainable to boot. Sheena, the owner, is doing farm to table literally from her own farm.
Do you farm these oysters?
Yeah, this is actually my day job is being a shellfish farmer.
You farm and then you get to come here and eat them later.
Eat them later, yes. When I'm done
Is
with work.
cheersing an oyster a thing?
Yeah, totally.
Cheers.
Cheers, oysters. Cheers.
So the water seems to be a thing around here, and I feel like as an oyster farmer, water makes a big difference in that.
Well, yeah, these ones are grown in bags, so they're like up in the water column. And we grow other ones on the beach because we like the contrast. So we're like people who want to taste things and taste what's different about them. Like wine, you know, if you put it in an oak barrel, it tastes different than a stainless steel tank. Same with oysters.
Unbelievable food. Look at that. Just look at it. It was almost too pretty to eat. Almost.
I feel like this is a great dinner. They're over here struggling, figuring out what to eat, and I'm eating oysters.
I started with
there we go.
There you go, you got it.
Oh, look at that.
I got it. Success! Victory! Lobster, you are mine. Now we're going to the butter.
Thank you.
Trip.
If this is sustainability, bring it on.
Right?
Right?
Seriously? Like, sustainability, we keep talking about this as people think it's boring, people think it's a lot of work, people think it's like all these kinds of things. Sustainability is resulting in the best food I've eaten in my damn life.
Yeah.
That was awesome. That was a great experience. We're leaving. We hang out a little bit later after we filmed at Chelsea Farms Oyster Bar.
Yeah.
Dude, God, that was a great experience. It's simple. If you search sustainability in the places at like the different towns, you're gonna eat at the best restaurants. You're gonna have the best food. You're gonna meet the coolest people.
Enough said.
I have nothing more. Like, if you're watching our show, this is the vibe, man. This is it. This is it. Can't wait to see what tomorrow holds. We got another day in Olympia, and let's go hit the hay, man. Another morning in Olympia. I like it here, man.
Another one.
Another one.
I think you're coming back here.
I might.
Yeah, this is the closest. Feel good for him.
It feels really good here.
O-Town, what up?
Yeah, I'm digging Olympia. Let's go get some breakfast, man.
Yeah.
5 minutes away. Yum.
Eggs Benedict was the perfect way to start our trip to the Olympia Bayside.
The air is very crisp here. It's not as salty as I was expecting. It's more like fresh, like fresh ocean air. I can't really explain it. That's a dope lifestyle. That's such a cool lifestyle. I've seen a couple families on these boats here that they have kids and stuff with them heading off into the water.
The original dock at Percival Landing was built by Sam Percival in 1860. Today, it is a hub for gatherings and social interactions on the east side of Bud Bay.
Put your face in it.
I feel like we're doing it wrong.
Put your face in the hole.
Like my eye?
Your face, yeah.
How do I put my face in the hole?
Just take your whole face and stick it in the hole.
Like, do you want me further back or what's
Yeah.
Okay.
Go. There.
Okay.
Yeah, I gotta be back here.
It's the most awkward selfie I've ever experienced in my life.
There it is.
Yeah!
Onwards and upwards, as Francis Ann Campbell used to say, the bay framed our jaunt through the marina as we walked down searching for more history and more culture. Luckily, we found some just at the tip of the pier.
Scott! Look at this. You found your family.
It's the Gnome King and Queen.
Yeah. Look at these little guardians of the galaxy right here. Looks like of all the states that I've been to, this state feels like it's doing the most for sustainability.
Due south of the bay was Olympia's Capitol building. The campus contains an impressive collection of memorials and artworks dedicated to veterans of World War I and II, Korea, Vietnam, and fallen law enforcement officers. I took the moment to recognize and capture the spirit of our veteran brother Garrett.
Pretty epic, bro.
Oysters are one of those uniquely misunderstood foods, slimy to some, decadent to others. With so many origins and varieties, we wanted to find out what made Olympia's oysters special. So we walked into the oyster house for a quick tasting of their different styles. The assembly line of shuckers diligently plated their treasures for us to savor.
Oysters at Oyster House. That's right.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I'll get my own.
Whoa. That is salty. Like,
Yeah.
whoa. I swallowed a fish.
Go first one.
There you go. Go for a swim. There.
Go first one.
First one right here. Cheers. These are my favorite kind of oysters. Very oceany, but also buttery. Like,
Yeah.
I was gonna say, have you guys tried the lily?
Yeah, no worries.
A lily
Absolutely.
oyster for the road.
Yeah.
I'll like them shrimp.
But yours is good too.
Oh my
Good
God.
job, Mason.
Damn.
It's like a heart. Look at that. It's beautiful.
And
A little love.
It is. That's how we did it.
We carried our curiosity for seafood through the town, witnessing how their vibrant street art was weaved into every facet of their community. We could feel our tale ending soon, so we decided to begin celebrating. And there's no better way to do so than by drinking some local craft beers with your brothers. The battered and deep-fried codfish sticks and thickly cut fries were the perfect chaser for our last toast of the trip.
okay, so we're heading to the Monument Mountains, and you've been telling me a little bit about them, but the main thing, oh, I'm on the wrong side of the road. The main thing, Jesus.
There you are.
The main thing I've been learning is that we don't know really what they are or where they came from. There's like, they could be aliens, they could be gophers, they could have been Native Americans, they could have been some tribe, but they are very mysterious. Seems to be pretty magical and mystical, and they're very moundy. All right,
You summed it up,
I got
bro.
the whole segment.
I got nothing.
Damn.
I got nothing for you.
Killing the game. All right, let's go to some mounds.
We arrived to the mysteriously magical Mima Mounds, not quite sure what to expect, so we went up the stairs to get a better view.
So what you're seeing here are all of these mounds that are all around this whole area. And it's a really big area that these are, but they only exist right here. It's a total geological mystery. Nobody knows for sure how they were made.
It's up to us to find out what they mean.
Yeah, I love that. Well, let's go explore some mounds, man.
Let's go mound up.
Go.
We began the final steps of our journey through the unusual terrain. It was covered by a beautiful prairie grassland with native wildflowers. There are many hypotheses of how these mounds came to be. The natives said it was waves from a flood, while early explorers were searching for buried treasure.
Inside of one of these mounds.
Yeah.
So they dug into it, and there was just a whole bunch of circular stones underneath them.
What? So it's really mysterious then. It's not just it's not just like a it's like there's a lot that makes these really, really strange and interesting.
Yeah, it's kind of like, let me dig a little deeper, and then what happens when they did that? They revealed another mystery. It was like those little Russian dolls.
Yeah.
You pop one out, and another one comes out, and another one comes out, and another one comes out.
What I also love about this is while it's very interesting geologically, it's also just a natural prairie, which we don't see too much anymore. So I love seeing a natural prairie. Spooked me.
Oh, look.
Something in the bushes here.
Fat bumblebee.
Sometimes figuring out exactly why things are the way they are is very empowering. Other times, sitting and enjoying the mystery can be very fulfilling. Whatever you choose, you're right. Because after all, it's your journey. May it be filled with joy.